podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Achtung Millwall. Broadcasting from beautiful South Bermondsey, it's the #1 Millwall podcast. Accept no substitute.
Good morning, dear listeners. Rules are there to be broken, aren't they? I'm speaking to Merv out of sequence for a very special occasion. That wonderful, fantastic 3-1 win at Stoke City last night. Here's the man himself. He was there. Merv Payne. How are you, Merv?
I'm okay, yeah. I'm a bit croaky. A bit croaky from the away end was in fine voice.
It was. Came across what on telly. Yeah.
I managed to incinerate the roof of my mouth on one of Stoke's balty pies as well, which was a good idea. But there you go. It was a great night. Really, really good. It was the sort of performance we really wanted after Saturday. Saturday we said against QPR was a statement performance. They came out and they went straight for them.
Yeah.
Got the game sewn up, and we did similar last night. Although you wouldn't believe it to hear Stoke manager Mark Robbins, who
No, I was just looking at his quote. You retweeted.
Yeah. I mean, let's not be petty and slag off the opposition manager. Well, let me rephrase that. Let's be petty and slag off the opposition manager.
Let's do that.
Yeah, let's do it. Because I've never liked Mark Robbins for some reason. He's such a miserable bugger. He always seems like he's got the ump.
Yeah,
and
he has a
he's
pout
just
on
got
his
that.
face.
There were some calls for him for us to go and get him as manager, and it never sat right with me.
No.
And you listen to him, he sounds so sulky, and it's everyone else is the whole world's against him. I mean, he's like a football manager's Gary Barlow, isn't he? He just makes you feel really miserable after you listen to him. And he says he's sick of ordinary teams coming to Stoke and beating them. So apparently we're ordinary. We didn't hurt them. And I've just watched the first goal back.
Yeah.
From several angles, and if that is not hurting, if that's ordinary, then I'll take ordinary every week. We started really well. Stoke had a go because they were the home team. They wanted to get back to winning ways or whatever, finish the season on a flourish. But we soaked it up, and we just looked so confident going forward. And the move was, it was a cracking goal. Robbins is saying it's down to their mistakes, but we attacked. We attacked in numbers, we attacked with width, we attacked with pace. It started at the right back position. The lovely little ball from Derek, who was outstanding again. And it just went from right to left. And we had a shot. Stoke sort of half cleared it, and Negley was there. But Negley is so found his place in this team because he knows when to pounce, and he looks so confident. He's really playing.
Wasn't it well placed? I mean, in real time, I thought he was going to put it over the bar when the moment arose on screen. But it was beautifully placed, top left-hand corner.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's an ordinary side, I mean, away from home, we're top of the ordinary league, Merv.
Yeah, I mean, if Man City score that, the pundits are reaching for the Kleenex, aren't they?
I'm just looking at the league table, the ordinary league table. We're second in it. Stoke are very
ordinary mid-table, aren't they? I think
they're in the ordinary 17th spot. So they've been beaten 19 times. So. What a load of bollocks, basically.
Yes.
I do find this is a modern football thing. We found it a few times this season. People can't bear the idea, football people and fans who think of themselves as that we've gone to their I mean, I'm going back to Bristol, but other clubs too, and beaten them fair and square. They seem to struggle with it.
They have this false feeling of self-importance for some reason. I don't know where they get it from. I don't know if they downloaded some sort of self-help.
They watch too much Sky TV, too much Pep Guardiola.
They're listening to some sort of Alan Partridge motivational tape, something like that, or whatever. I can't remember the character he was when he was Cheeseman. When I'm a tiger, rah, that sort of thing. They think, we're unbeatable, and then little old Will come along and
soak it up. Yeah,
how's this happened? How dare you? And we've heard it so many times, but for it to come from, we're getting it from the managers now. I
think they're buying into it as well.
Yeah,
I sometimes wonder whether there should be. They were talking about rule changes in the game. Whether there should be like an artistic merit judging, like they have an ice skating.
Bonus
there's the result, but then you get extra marks for out of 10 for beautiful football. Until then, we've got a league table that has puts us in second position, subject to Ipswich's game at Charlton and the remaining 3 games. They've got a game advantage on us, Merv, which might be our undoing yet in terms of automatic. But this dwell on last night because that was a beautiful opening goal by Negley.
Mm-hmm.
Sturge going down the left side, the cross falls to
Yep.
Negley, who puts it away with aplomb into the top left-hand corner. Beautiful start. And then another great chance for I think Balla had a shot afterwards, and a great chance for Coburn shortly after the
there
goal,
was
wasn't there?
that Coburn moment again when in the away end.
Coburn moment.
Yeah.
TCM.
Yeah. Can we really hope that we do end up winning this convincing and we don't look back on that as another? Yeah. And it is a real mystery because the goals he scores are technically really cool and
Good goals, good finish,
when you think about it, and some forwards choke and make the wrong decision. He just does it perfectly. I mean, his goal at Middlesbrough being a perfect example. But when it seems when he's faced with a chance that's easier to score than miss,
I
mean,
maybe gets the voices in your head telling you to do different things. I don't know what it is.
I remember Tony Cascarino saying it becomes self-defeating. You know, you do have that voice in your head that says, "Oh, you know, you're
going to miss it."
Yeah, you're going to miss it. This is too easy. But fair play to the bloke. He came back. He got his chance in the second half, and he put it away. But that was. And then we thought, oh, it would have been so nice to have got a second. Then I think Stoke would have really folded.
Yeah, as it was, obviously we got through to half time at 1-0. There was a terrible moment. I thought Kramer had a meltdown. He gave the ball away just outside the Mill penalty. It was a well saved shot actually from Stoke on 40 minutes, but we got through to half time at 1-0. And my note to myself, a dominant half, but we've missed chances again. So you do start to have that little nagging doubt, Merv, don't you? And I mean, in fairness to Mark Robbins and his superior side, they came out after the break. They hit the post, which was on another day that goes in the net. I think Lady Luck smiled on us a touch there because that was a decent strike, and that would have put a different complexion on the second half of it if they'd have equalised straight from the off. But it didn't go in, so on we sailed. I think the second goal on 54 was a strange watching on TV because obviously you get your side view. There's a word for the side view. I never know what it is, but they went for some reason the camera didn't work and they went behind the goal vantage point as though you're in the away end, but it was sudden, so it was totally disconcerting, Merv. And when Femi kind of cut in from the right side and shot in, I couldn't quite make out what had happened. There's like your whole kind of view of the game was upended in a moment, but that was a goalkeeping error, but a shot on target, and I suppose that's the benefit when your shots on target.
Yeah, I mean, we know what Femi is all about, and we know he has scored some spectacular goals. The Birmingham one sort of comes to mind straight away. But the thing is, he is so full of confidence right now that
he is.
When he's in a position like that, he just thinks, score, go for it. He has a go, and I think yes. I mean, we were behind it in the way end. So we saw the shot. I think it might have sort of taken a weird sort of swerve.
The goalkeeper seemed to be going too far to his right.
And the keeper sort of he sort of patty caked it into the roof of it. But it was hit with a lot of power. That's what you have to give Aziz credit for that. He really hit it with some venom, which I think the keeper perhaps took him by surprise. But again, Mark Robbins will say it's a keeper's mistake, but we're on the attack. We are hurting them as much as Mark Robbins.
That's being hurt. The power shot on goal that goes through your goalkeeper, basically. 2-0, and I must admit, I thought we were in the driving seat, but it wouldn't be Millwall, Merv, if we didn't put the jitters up our support with a very odd goal. I mean, having watched it a few times now, it's a ball comes in from the right side, goes over everyone, and comes back in. It kind of hits Taylor on. It looks like it hits it on the shoulder and deflects in off the post. A freak goal.
It was a total freak goal, and Stoke. It lifted Stoke for a bit. It was a bit disconcerting that we did let them back in so quickly. When we for a second, a mate of mine texted me and said, "Oh, you're okay now," and almost as I read that, they scored, and I replied, "No, we're not." I said, "We always do it." But I think the thing was when we went 2-0 up, and I think I saw a couple of people mention this on X. We didn't, rather than sort of slow the game down and take control of it, we sort of got a bit panicky, or we perhaps went
nerves. I think nerves.
And I think the point has to be made, and I made this point I was quite annoyed, but of the referee, yet again, we have just a bizarre refereeing performance where I think of all the football matches I've ever seen, I cannot remember a team having two players booked for the first 2 fouls of the match
Yeah,
within 15 minutes of it starting. I'm pretty sure that after 14 minutes last night, the foul count was Stoke 0, Millwall 2. The yellow card count was Stoke 0, Millwall 2. The two, okay, not great tackles, rather innocuous challenges in the centre circle though
yeah,
by our two key midfielders, and it just felt like you was watching some sort of. I mean, it was almost on Kes levels of bentness. Do you know what I mean? It was like it was as if you're not even hiding the fact that you're basically putting our two key midfielders on
God,
yellow
yeah,
card
for the
within.
whole of the game,
Yeah. So
inside
do
4
you think?
minutes.
So,
I
so
mean,
yeah. So Derek and Denori are walking a tightrope, and every time Derek went for the ball, your heart was in your mouth. You thought they've only got to throw himself on the floor, sort of Ipswich style, and he's
yeah,
going to book.
yeah, yeah,
You can't wait to send him off. And we thought if we can get that second goal, he'll take Derek off, bring
yeah,
Barry Band on, and he'll slow things down. But he didn't, and Derek stayed on to the bitter end,
yeah.
which
He
was
did.
great.
Did the whole game, didn't he?
Because
Yeah,
I've got to say, I mean, without getting too carried away, he literally looks like we've plucked a top Premier League midfielder from someone like Man City and popped him in the team because he looks so assured on the ball and so calm and so classy.
yeah.
And
No, I'd agree. I'd
I'm
agree.
not,
And if
I'm not one for over analysing tactics and formation and stuff like that. But my son, who was with me, is a bit more into it, and I think correctly pointed out that when we were attacking, Derek was playing sort of a centre half role alongside,
right,
he was stuck in the centre defence, and it allowed Sturge and Crammer to sort of bomb forward, and which meant we could attack in numbers. But he looked so good at it, and he was just collecting the ball, breaking their attacks down, picking out neat little passes. He just looks an absolute class act.
very, very assured for a youngster
Yeah,
coming in
yeah,
from.
yeah,
There was that interview I mentioned in the other show we did the other day, and he's clearly he's learning English. Let's put it that way. But he's not 100% confident. Did an interview
mm,
with Tristan. But what maturity from a youngster from coming from lower level French football straight into
yeah,
the hurly
yeah,
burly of
yeah,
the championship top end and looking
yeah,
the part. If I think I was mentioning Camille Negley as well. I mean, these are players that have come into us. I think Negley carried a bigger price tag than Derek, but
yes, he did.
still have yet to prove themselves. But my word, aren't they proving themselves now? These are top
Yeah,
class
again,
players,
yeah.
Merv.
Negley looks so classy. He looks so confident.
Yeah,
He's playing with. I've said it before. He's playing with a sort of swagger. I think when he first got into the team, he looked a bit nervous.
yeah,
He looked like he perhaps had a bit of imposter syndrome.
yeah.
He was a bit daunted by the championship, which any player would.
Who wouldn't be?
I think the same could be said for Aziz for his first few games.
Yeah.
But and I think it's testimony to Alex Neil that he's just gotten playing to their strengths and playing as a brilliant team. And I think it looks to me like Alex Neil has been keeping his eye on Derek up through the season in the academy teams or the under-21s and that. And I think he's thought, right, you're ready, and he's pushed him in. He's shown faith in him,
Yeah.
and we paid him bundles because he was just superb last night. He's what we've been desperate for. I think when we played Portsmouth, we lost at home to Portsmouth. They had a similar midfielder who did the job similar job to what Derek's doing. And yeah, what a time to
What a
find that.
find! What a jewel to find in the rough,
I mean, at this stage of the season, it means we can, play really well. Put in good performances like this. We can people like Billy Mitchell and that are still
Yeah,
and Alfie
indeed.
Doughty are able to
Yeah,
rest,
yeah,
in case we need them. Hopefully,
yeah.
with every passing day, they're closer to playing, and it's been a massive boost.
3-1 on 68 minutes, listeners. Some very ordinary play by Stoke allows the ball to fall to Josh Coburn, who finished like a proper goal scorer there. I mean,
Yeah,
some might say, I think if the ball finishes up in the back of the net, it's a good goal, isn't it?
yeah,
It looks like he was kicking one way, but it's come off the backside of the defender coming in. It's gone in the net,
mm.
so who cares? But 3-1 settled it, and I must admit I felt a lot easier in myself at that point.
Yeah. There
I
was
didn't
a
think we were going
well,
to let
yeah.
that go.
No, the fact that the hordes of Stoke fans streaming out of streaming from the stands. I
into,
think said
the
it all.
Stoke night. Yeah,
Yeah, the place was virtually empty once that went in, and yeah, we were pretty comfortable. It still didn't stop the referee from making a few more bizarre decisions. You probably saw it when we allowed the ball to roll out because he come off a Stoke player for a corner. He waited about 5 seconds, and then when he was convinced that the every pair of eyes in the world was on him, he gleefully awarded a corner. And I think even the Stoke fans couldn't believe it. I mean, some of the decisions. I mean, they say Danny McNamara came on and got booked straight away.
he got booked straight away, didn't he?
Yeah, it was quite an agricultural challenge. But again, how often do you see players booked for first check? Unless it's really bad, unless it's a
You
real.
normally have a word and book them on the second go, don't you? I mean, that's.
Well, by all accounts, this referee has form. I think he's sent off 5 players in his last 8 games. So,
Right.
so yeah, they knew exactly what they were doing when they sent him down. So God knows what we're going to have on Friday. But
Well, we have a chant for that from the FA, but we won't repeat that on this family show.
Yeah, I think it's spot on. And I honestly, there was some bizarre stuff going on.
Absolutely. So it finished 3-1, puts us back into second position, listeners, as you all know, although we do have Ipswich playing tonight on a 2-game in hand advantage on us. I've been playing endlessly, like I keep saying on these shows, Merv, with the fixture predictor, and the goal difference of Ipswich may be the thing that undoes us. I can see how if we win our next 2, we finish on 85. And I can see a route where even if they lose at, Southampton, they may finish on 85 too, but their goal difference is decisively better. That could be the thing that us, which would be a shame. But
it would. But with every passing game, it gets slightly less complicated. And I don't want to tempt fate, but I do think Southampton drawing with Bristol City last night, I think that rules them realistically out of second place.
Yeah,
because they can only get 82 points as Middlesbrough can. I think 82 points. I'd like. Well, if Southampton or Middlesbrough got with 82 points in second place, then fair play to them. But it's going to take quite a capitulation from both Millwall and Ipswich. You'd like to think that really now it's a straight race between us and Ipswich for second place.
And they've got to do it. I mean, there is this cliche that it's better to have the points in the bank, and it's up to Ipswich to go and get it. So let's see. We don't know. Worst case scenario is, as I think we said at the start of our conversation, we've assured playoff football, Merv, which is first time in 25 years at this level is a huge achievement. And
massive it is,
I think it's obviously we've got the the glittering prize of automatic still to chase, and Alex Neil said that we will do that, but. We mustn't minimise the achievement of finishing in the top 6, which is something that's eluded us for 25 years. That's massive.
It is,
We go into it with some measure of confidence, I think, as well.
Yeah, I worry. I brought this up a couple of weeks ago when I think we're on that sort of that precipice now of settling for the playoffs or still going for second. But if we miss out second in sort of quite dramatic circumstances, how does that affect the morale going into the playoffs? But if anyone can fix that, if it does come to that, then it's Alex Neil, who's got so much experience of the playoffs, which is that's our secret weapon. I think if we do get to the playoffs, I mean, obviously we've got the situation which we predicted on Monday. I think in that our last 2 matches are against teams that, well, Oxford aren't relegated yet, but they're only one. They have to win both their games. Put it that way. They have to win on Saturday.
Yeah.
And
also, Charlton need points. I mean, I think 1 point will probably do them from their relegation.
The most important thing is this West Brom points deduction issue, because I've seen so much debate about this.
Yeah.
It started off by apparently it was confirmed that because the incident or the discrepancy is this season, the points deduction has to be this season. Then I've seen someone, I think it's Rob Dorset at Sky Sports, said, well, no, they filed their accounts after the deadline. So any points deduction will be next season. And I've seen again this morning people saying now actually a points deduction is actually possibly unlikely, and it's going to be after the end of the. So what you've got which is what makes this season even more complicated. I mean, you've got 2 teams who've been relegated partly or mostly for Sheffield Wednesday because of points deduction.
Points deductions, yeah.
I'm thinking West Brom are now safe mathematically, and they play Ipswich at home on Saturday. But is there a little thought in the back of their minds that thinking, well, we'd better go and get 6 points in these last 2 games just in case,
just to build us cushion?
Just in case. Next Wednesday they say, we're docking you 5 points. So I'm sort of hoping, and apart from anything else, West Brom are playing great at the moment. They're playing really well. They smashed Watford last night. I think they're 8 unbeaten under Morris. You know, they're not going to want to lay down and die against Ipswich on Saturday. They're going to want to. Hopefully, obviously you can hear the wishful thinking oozing out of me now, can't you? Because again, we repeat the conversation we had on Monday morning.
We're all doing it, Merv.
Yeah, all this speculation means nothing if we don't win at Leicester.
That's right.
And now we're venturing into sort of new realms. We've played the teams that are in and around the promotion places and the playoff places and done well. We've played teams that have got nothing to play for and done well in Stoke last night. So now we've got to see what it's like when we play against a team that are down. And I mean, Leicester
and quite a toxic atmosphere there as well.
Very toxic atmosphere, yeah. But the worrying thing for me is no surprise that under Gary Rowett, Leicester were draw specialists. I think they've drawn 7 of the 11 games under him.
Yeah,
and that on top of 6 points deduction is what's relegated them. I can't imagine they'll be that motivated. I think if we approach it the same way as we approached the last 2 games, fingers crossed we should see a similar sort of result, and that's all we can do.
Fingers crossed. Absolutely. Exciting times to be a Millwall fan, though. Worst case scenario, listeners, we're in the playoffs at the moment. It's looking like Wrexham in the 6th spot. We play Wrexham away first, then Wrexham at the Den. So that's the worst case scenario. What a season. What a tribute to Alex Neil. I want to say a big thank you to Merv for joining me at very short notice this Wednesday morning. Thank you, Merv. Breaking all the rules, mate. I'll talk to you next week, mate.
Hey, mate. Cheers.
Achtung, Millwall.
You know, I've been here 9 years trying to achieve this kind of feat in the Championship. You know, there's some really, really good teams, and you know, to achieve that now with 2 games to go, really is some achievement from the players, from the staff. You know, the chairman, what he's done for the club, and of course the fans. You know, the support has been incredible. You know, to have as many as we did up here on a Tuesday night in Stoke is just an absolute pleasure. Obviously playing for this football club at the minute, and we're hoping we can see how far we can get this season.
Yeah, listen, delighted. You know, I think we confirmed that obviously that's us. We're definitely in the playoffs now. But even more than that, you know, I think for this group to have done what they've done, I think that's 79 points now, 23 wins this season. Best away record in the league. I thought we showed that again this evening. I thought we deserved the game from start to finish. You know, there was one little bit where they get the goals, a deflected goal off of one of our lads into the far corner. But our reaction and response was superb, you know, and for us to confirm playoffs with 2 games to go, still in the hunt. Now, obviously, it's on to other people and see what they can do for the next sort of round of fixtures tomorrow.
Well, those 2 voices were, of course, club captain and a shoe-in, almost certainly, as player of the season, Jake Cooper, followed by club gaffer Alex Neil, who was named in the shortlist for the manager of the season in the Championship. Frank Lampard, of course, winning it, which you might expect. Coventry City being the champion side of the season, rightly so. But what a performance he's turned in this year for the Lions, dear listeners. We now have the voicemails to follow. I'm going to play the show out with the collective voicemails. I want to say a big thank you to everybody who sent content in to me. It's much appreciated. Do give me a shout if you want to send in your voice notes for the remaining hugely exciting games of this season. Probably playoff football, I would think. These notes are being recorded before Charlton's home match with Ipswich. We'll see how that turns out. But do give me a shout if you want to make any contribution. Always much appreciated, and it really adds to the show. So huge thanks to everyone that sent stuff in. We're going to take it away now with Jim Lucas. Take it away, Jim.
Nick, Jim Lucas here. It's been a little while since I sent one of these, but sitting on my driveway at 1:30 a.m. this morning, having got back from Stoke, I felt that this was the right time to get back in touch and just add to what I imagine are a number of messages saying similar stuff, really, mate, which is just what a brilliant time it is to support Millwall. These last 2 games, I think, have just shown a side of this team that I guess maybe we haven't, even in a good season like this, which is just pure ability to control and win games. This time of season, it's easier said than done to do that, especially against teams that haven't got much to play for. I think all the pressure comes onto you, but the way we've gone about our business, I think, has just been incredible. I think, sure, again, lots of people saying the same things. Mazu Sakho, Tieno Ballo, actually, both of them, I thought over the last 2 games have almost looked like new signings, really, and they've just given us that different look, that sort of ability for Mazu Sakho just to kind of fall between Jake Cooper and Caleb Taylor at the back, both of whom were brilliant yet again last night, I thought. And Ballo just to distract, I guess, and pull some of the attention away from Femi Aziz. And I don't think it's any surprise or any coincidence, that Aziz suddenly is finding the space again and the ability to put the balls in and score a good goal last night because of that distraction you've got with Ballo on the other side. But yeah, just more generally, what an amazing time to support this club. I've been critical in the past. I dread to think of some of the things I thought or said maybe in the early part of last year about Alex Neil or recruitment processes and this, that and the other, but things have definitely come good, haven't they? I've never felt so confident in a manager to be able to pull out a result when it's needed, and that is what we are going to have to do now over these next couple of games. The abiding fault and the thing that I thought about this morning when I woke up after 2 hours sleep or whatever it was, 3 hours sleep, was about John Berylson, to be honest. There's a nice clip doing the rounds on X this morning, a clip from one of the interviews he did, I think, during his early couple of years with the club. And when I see the team saw the Millwall accounts posting about securing the playoffs, I couldn't help but think back to the early part of that day against Blackburn with John walking around the edge of the pitch, knowing that he was so close, or hoping that he was so close to seeing his team qualify for the playoffs, and ultimately he never did, not in this division at least. So I couldn't help but think of him today, and just I hope that the team can go that one step further over these next 2 games. It's an amazing achievement to be in the playoffs. I think we'd have, again, I'm sure people are saying it, but bitten arms off and whatever to get into that position. But to be here with 2 games to go with a genuine chance, and it is a genuine chance, let's not beat around the bush. It depends what potentially goes on tonight between Charlton and Ipswich, but it is still, regardless of that result tonight, a genuine chance of winning automatic promotion on the 2nd of May, which is 38 years to the day since we last did it. 38 years to the day since I was born, actually, as well, which is quite a nice coincidence. So already looking forward to Saturday week and what it might mean for us as a club, for the Berylson family, as I said earlier, and this team and this manager, who are just brilliant to watch. A brilliant night up there in Stoke last night, 1,500 or so of us. It felt like one of those unforgettable Millwall crowds, a bit like going to Leeds in the playoffs a few years ago. One of those I was there moments, I think. But yeah, generally speaking, just an amazing time to support Millwall. Fingers crossed tonight, fingers crossed for Friday night and next Tuesday night and next Saturday afternoon. A lot of crossing of fingers, but again, what an amazing place to be. So let's see where we are. But once again, just a big well done to Millwall, and I fought for John Berylson today. Cheers, Nick. Speak again soon, hopefully. Cheers, mate. Bye.
Hi, Nick. Mike George here. So Millwall, 2nd place in the Championship again, and guaranteed at least a playoff place after tonight's win at Stoke City. We didn't really get going until 15 minutes into the game, and whilst this was nowhere near the vintage performance from the QPR game, it was enough against the Stoke side that at times looked like they were thinking about booking their summer holidays. And their stadium was only a quarter full, really. I think if Stoke City looked like they were booking their holidays, it looked like most of their fans had already left. So the first goal came from Camille Negley, another curling left foot shot into the bottom corner. That'll do nicely, thank you very much. Then we had a Femi Aziz goal, which was a speculative shot, to be honest. It's been a while, for him to score a goal, but it was very welcome. Goalkeeper caught it and then let it slip through his hands. Thank you very much. That'll do nicely. Again, here we go, 2-0 up. But half-time team talk from Robbins has obviously kicked Stoke up the backside a bit, because they came out looking like a football team for, at least 10 minutes. Anyway, they got a corner. There was a cross, went in. The substitute that they just put on got his head onto it, and it unfortunately deflected off Caleb Taylor into the goal. So they suddenly thought that they might have a chance. Yeah, right. I think they're in the world of fantasy there, because they didn't really have a chance, because Millwall were fairly comfortable, fairly much in control. And then one of their defenders decided to present the ball to one of our players who were closing them down. The ball ended up with Josh Coburn in front of goal, only the keeper to beat, one defender leaning on him, no matter, he just slotted it home. There you go, 3-1, and we were well worth that 3-1. So, as I said, we move into second place, although Ipswich play tomorrow, and if they win, we'll pop above us again on goal difference. It's all ding-dong stuff, isn't it? However, I want to highlight the talking points of the day. Stoke commentator comparing Jake Cooper's haircut to Australian rules football players from the 1980s. Harsh, but it was funny. And then Danny McNamara came on, and he was booked after his first touch. Okay, it was a foul, but even so, bit harsh. Anyway, there we go. That's me. I'm off to Leicester on Friday night, so let's see if we can go again. Come on, you Lions.
Hey, Nick, Glenn here. So here we go again. I'd actually resigned myself and just settled on the fact that we were going to make the playoffs, and was delighted with that. And the fact that we're still in the running for that second spot is just like the cherry on top, really. I'm enjoying this no matter what happens now, because quite frankly, the playoffs would have been an acceptable outcome from the start. I will admit, finally, Patterson has won me over. He is an upgrade on Crocombe, and I do like Crocombe. I think he's a fantastic keeper, and he probably should be someone's number one somewhere else. But I've got to say that Patterson has proven that he is better. He is better. Some of his saves and his ability to come off the line and read that ball to close it down before the opposition players get to it. He's very good at that, and I really do. I really do like what I'm seeing from him now. So I'll admit I was wrong. Yeah, well done to him. I think we've got to admit that there was a few chances yesterday where I think a better team would have, spotted those opportunities at the back of our defence and maybe got an equaliser. But I'm not going to criticise that, because at the end of the day, we're going shit or bust on trying to win our last 3 games. And you won't do that if you're playing, sort of defensive-minded games. So, yeah, that's going to happen. Thankfully, the last 2 games we've got are against teams that aren't really scoring a lot of goals. So maybe that'll work out for us in the end. And a lot depends, obviously, on the other results that come in tonight. And finally, I think the midfield pair, Denor and Mazusako, did so well yesterday. That referee was just itching the second yellow card then, wasn't he? I mean, that was really poor to give them 2 yellow cards right at the beginning of the game. And well done to both of those players for staying on the pitch. It's really surprised Alex Neil didn't replace one of them at least at some point during the second half. Just goes to show the faith he has in them. So, yeah, brilliant. Great to see. Really looking forward to this now. Can't wait for Friday's game. Like I say, it's all gravy now. Let's just enjoy what we've got going on here. And if it's the playoffs, then great. I don't fear anybody right now. I think we can beat any of the teams that are currently sitting in the playoff places. Come on, you Lions.
Morning, Nick. It's Hassan here. Calling in again after, it sounds like a broken record, but another great win on the road for the Mighty Lions. Honestly, this team is, I feel like it's stepped up a gear over the last couple of games. Last night and Saturday, I thought really from Birmingham at home onwards, it felt like we dropped our levels just a little bit, and we struggled to get a foothold in certain games, struggled to take control. And the game Saturday and the game last night, we were just, do you know what I'm going to say? We were on another level. QPR and Stoke. I know they're on the beach and all that bollocks, but they couldn't touch us. And last night in that first half, we should have been out of sight. We were all over them. As I said, Alex Neil, he's getting another tune out of these boys. I think he turned around and said to them, "Look, guys, we're pretty much in the playoffs, and we are now. Obviously, that's been confirmed. But it's a testament that, to me, it feels like they're finding another gear. From what I saw the last couple of games, last night, in terms of goals, well, let's face it, Camille Negley, my man of the match overall, thought he was fantastic. He's now turning to sort of player. When he gets on the ball, you get on the edge of your seat. You're thinking, what's he going to do? Is he going to score from here? Is he going to put the killer ball in? He plays with so much confidence, so much swagger, Sometimes that's to his detriment. There's positions where he gets into where it's a bit like, maybe we could have done better there. But you can't knock his confidence in and around the box. That he's very cool with the ball, and that goal he scored last night, and very similar to the one against QPR, maybe even better, because I watched it on the telly, and I actually thought he went wide. I didn't realise it was a sweep of a shot straight into the top corner for 1-0, and should have got a couple more. Coburn with a textbook sitter, which I think he's starting to coming through his game now. Unbelievable, really. He had one shot. It was more difficult. I think it was Negley. That might have been I think it was Kramer. He crossed the ball. Coburn was running to the near post, and he sort of stuck a boot out to get it into the back post, and just went wide. But the second one was, that was a gilt-edged chance there. Again, Negley with a lovely cutback, perfect weight on the ball, and he put it into Rosette. Second half, to be fair to Stoke, they did come out, they did look better, they did mount a challenge of some sort. I think they hit the post. Yeah, it was in the second half they hit the post. I thought, fucking hell, here we go. And then I've got to be honest with you, Nick, I'm not sure if you watched it on the Sky Red button, the fucking camera settings went to the wrong camera, because I couldn't work out what was going on. I saw the player celebrating. I thought, what the fuck's this? I never see it. I thought it was a replay. And the only one looked on my phone and he said 2-0. Thought fantastic. Goalkeeper dropped the bollock there. He done a Stephen Bender, Jules Long-esque style save. Or non-save, shall I say. Typical Millwall, itchy bun time. We go and give a goal away, an own goal from Taylor. But then, again, Negley, hard work, closing their defenders down. They're pissing around with the ball. A bit like Borough away. He intercepted a loose ball. And, again, Kobe, he just about scored that. I think the keeper defender came flying out to him, and he managed just to get the ball over the line. And we saw it out from there. There were a few chances after that. But overall, great result. Puts us in another good position again. And tonight, we are all Charlton fans, I believe, Valley Foy Road and all that bollocks. And let's just enjoy it. We've got the playoffs cemented now. Get that in your diaries. And do you want me to ask you? I don't give a shit who we play. I really don't care. Southampton, Wrexham, Ipswich. As our song says, let them come. Just let them all come. We've got to play them at some point. Why hide from it? Fuck it, I think this team, with the confidence they got, we can go and beat anyone. I think we should have that mentality. We shouldn't be scared of anyone. But I'll be up there Friday night, mate. Hopefully, I might see you there. And be a long day. I'm shutting my garage half day to be up there, but I think this team's worth it. This is a special side, and I was talking to my brother last night, and I'm starting to link this side in terms of the joy watching them to the teams that got us promoted from League One, the team that got to the FA Cup final, the team that won us the Division 2 title. That's how much enjoyment this team's given me, and I think let's enjoy it. No matter what happens, let's enjoy it. Cheers, mate. Take care.
Nick Hart, Bobby T. Achtung Millwall. Hello, boys and girls. Just got off the coach about 4 or 5 hours ago. I had about 3 hours sleep from the old Stoke on fucking Trent, mate. Fucking hell, where do I begin? I'm not jet lagged, really, but I've had 4 hours sleep. Was it worth it? It fucking was, mate. Fucking hell, where do I begin? Sorry, my late reaction, but they call me Bobby T. Famous. I'm here. I'm fucking everywhere. Millwall. Yeah, I'm just happy. I'm just buoyant that we believe. I've always told everyone second, and are we going to get second? I'd never wear a Charlton shirt. I'd never go near that fucking shithole, the old choo-choo train spotters. But what is this doing here? Sorry. Hold the line. Bobby T again. Sorry, I had to do a little. My duties are the old work. Now listen, Camel Leslie, man of the match. Full stop. He's the Messiah. He's the Messi. Sorry, just cut off there, mate. Yeah, anyway, every single one lying hard there. Stoke, embarrassment. On to Leicester now. Man of the match, Camel Leslie. I say no more. Worth the wait. Thank you, Nick Achtung, for the pleasure of supporting the old Lions. Anyway, I'm waffling on. All I know is that at 2-1, Del Boy. You're coming in the Peck and Pogba. I say no more. Foxes, you're down. We're coming for second. Come on, Charlton. Love Achtung Millwall. Bobby T signing off at the Sunny Harrods. Love you all. No one likes us. Premiership. We are coming. Bobby T live.
Achtung, Millwall.
Post-match voice reaction after the brilliant win at the Bet365. And I've got to say, again, it's sort of more of the same. Alex Neil started with exactly the same team as he started at home last Friday? I think, yeah. And against QPR. And it was more of the same, really. I think everyone played well. Obviously, Camille Negley in great form at the moment. He's absolutely everywhere, all over the pitch. Josh Coburn, fantastic work at really muscling the centre halves now, really imposing himself. It's very good. And let's make no mistake, Stoke created some chances. They hit the post, they scored a goal. They had a couple of really, really good opportunities. If it had gone one way or t'other, then, they could have well won that. But in the end, we prevailed. We rode our luck again. I think we make our luck, really. We're working so hard. We had a lot of joy down the flanks. I think everyone's playing really well. I'm so impressed with Derek Mazzucco now. He's really found his feet. I was watching him and he was dropping ever so deep as the CDM, which is good. He was taking the pressure right off Cooper and Taylor. He was playing in the same formation. He was playing as an extra back, sort of carrying the ball out. And I did see one passage of play, actually, where I was very, very impressed that Millwall played the ball around with the goalkeeper, with Pattinson, left and right, and Derek dropped very, very low, very deep. And he took the ball, played it, but then he moved, asked for the ball back, got the ball back in space, and then took it and pushed it up towards the centre circle, carried it forward, and played a constructive ball forward. And I was thinking, this is what we really need. Again, I think he's really putting pressure now on Billy and Casper in the middle. I think if anything, Billy's tackling, his break-up play is slightly better than Derek's and Casper's. But I would think out of those three at the moment, if we get Billy back fit in the midfield engine, you got three really good players there to sit two at a time. You got a sub. And the referee, he gave a lot of yellow. We were, I think, 2 yellow cards down within the first 5 minutes. But that's the nature of it. I got no problems really with, the midfield pairing giving away yellow cards, because it shows they're actually getting involved in the game. As long as they're justified yellow cards, which I don't think they were. I think the ref was very inconsistent with some of his decisions. And as long as we've got enough muscle on the bench to bring on, if someone does get a yellow card and they're looking to be sort of chasing the game and perhaps at risk of getting a second. So we've got to be mindful of that. But all in all, really, really good performance away. Happy to travel and happily, travelling fans. It was absolutely great. Brilliant. Josh Coburn, so glad Negley put him in for his goal. Aziz, another wonder shot, bit of a goalkeeping error, but it was a stinger of a shot to keep out and the goalie fluffed it. I think Josh could have scored that second goal that Negley set him up with, but I like the shape of the Millwall team, I like the two, with Negley now sitting in the middle a bit more, Ballow's coming into it a bit better, Aziz on the right, Then you've got Coburn up front or Ivanovic up front. You can bring Langstaff on. We're getting a really, really good shape now. So it's on to Leicester, who I understand have been relegated. And, we go again on Friday. Let's hope for the result. It's in our hands now. Let's hope someone can pull a result against Ipswich. And who knows, do we dare to dream? Anyway, we're in the playoffs. So come on, you Lions, and well done.
Morning, Nick. What a victory last night. A dominant display, and we thoroughly deserved the 3 points there. Thought we played some beautiful football in the first half. Stoke looked woeful. Negley took his chance. What a finish. Coburn should have made it too, but he's fired it over, hasn't he? But then Stoke, first 5-6 minutes of the second half, up the tempo a little bit, showed some glimpses of being an okay team, but didn't really create anything. And then Femi goes and has that long-range shot that their goalkeeper messes up, but we can't complain. 2-0 up. Again, Stoke, to be fair, once they went 2-0 down, they had another little spell for 5-6 minutes, and they luckily got that goal, which was so jammy off the back of Taylor's head and Patterson, and I think Cooper was on the line, couldn't do anything about it. But 2-1 could have been a dogfight, could have messed that up, but great resilience by the boys to then go and get the third. But yeah, we deserved that victory. I thought Cooper and Taylor were absolutely immense. I thought Negley was superb. He's everywhere, isn't he? I'm glad he's getting the recognition that he deserves, because probably from December onwards, he's probably been our player of the season, along with Cooper, albeit Kramer and Aziz always get the plaudits. I thought on Saturday, Aziz was looking more lively, put in some really good crosses, and again last night he was looking really lively. But look, unbelievable job. We now await the Charlton Ipswich result tonight and then move on to Ipswich. As Alex Neil said, all we can do is keep putting some points on the board ourselves and see what happens. We can't control the opposition, but I just feel that if we can get 2 more wins, I have a feeling that it's going to be our year. But
Morning, Nick. Just Adam Wicks here. Hopefully I'm not too late. May well be. It's been a bit of a busy morning at work. Just phoning in after last night's excellent 3-1 win at Stoke. Just great result, wasn't it? I think it's probably as comfortable as we could have expected. I think, again, the players acquitted themselves really well. I thought we played some fantastic football in that first half. The only issue I had with the first half was that we didn't put, again, like against QPR, we obviously put 2 goals past them, but we didn't get that second goal, or third goal, to be fair, that I think we probably deserved in terms of some of the chances we created. I mean, Coburn had a one he should have buried or left for Aziz, another one he could have scored. Aziz had a few opportunities. We had plenty of, we were causing them all sorts of trouble, and they just didn't look interested. And my worry was they were going to come out after half time a different team after they'd been rocketed, and they weren't they, to a degree. Although I still think we handled it reasonably well. It wasn't quite as comfortable as it perhaps should have been, but an excellent result, great team performance. Great to see Aziz get back in the goals. Coburn get another goal, just helps with his confidence. Negley's just an absolute. The man is just class, isn't he? That left foot is unbelievable, and just the level of composure he has is, I can't remember a player for a long time we've had that can almost make time stand still. It seems to me when he gets the ball, he seems to have the ability to just give himself the freedom of the pitch and just pick where he wants to put the ball. I think he put that ball in the only place he could have scored, and it was undefendable. So just fantastic. I think, again, Derek did very well. He does that thing that Billy does where he drops in between the back two, picks the ball up, allows them to just spread a little bit, and then we can just work the ball around. I think the the goal actually came. If you look at it, I mean, there was some really good passing around the back 3-4 and the midfield. We worked the ball all the way through the thirds to get it to Negley. It was a terrific team goal, and just super pleased. I can't, obviously just hoping now that I think we need Ipswich to draw 2. I think if they draw 2 games and we win the 2 out of their 4 and we win the 2, then we're up, aren't we? I still can't quite allow myself to think that that's realistically going to happen, but we seem to be the only ones that are keeping our heads whilst other teams are losing theirs a bit around us, don't they? So I think we can just keep applying that pressure to Ipswich and keep asking them that question and just say, we've won our game, what have you got? I think they might crack at some point. But we shall see. Just a quick word on the ref. I thought the yellows we received, the one for Derek, he did pull the guy's shirt, so I can understand that one to a degree. It looked a bit harsh, but the Casper and the Danny Mac ones were absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, just another one that needs to go in the book, doesn't it, for us, really? But there we go. Anyway, onwards to Friday. I'll be up there. Hopefully we sell that away end out. The boys really deserve a sold-out away end and a proper back-in. Come on, you Lions.
Hello, Nick. It's Barnsley here. I thought I'd better send a message in after that fantastic performance at Stoke, where it finished Stoke 1, Millwall 3. And, wow, we've got this steeliness about us, our arrogance about us now, and that's just our supporters, where we don't feel like we're going to lose. And it feels weird. It's nice to have that confidence about us now, and, to go to Stoke, and we've got a good record up there, haven't we? But to go there and look so comfortable, and, even their goal when they scored it was a bit of a fluke anyway. But just going back to the first half, we couple of mistakes, maybe Crammer, but long range shots. That's what we're doing to teams. They can only really, have long range shots because we're keeping them at arm's length, aren't we? And obviously Negley, great play down the left, and then Zach puts the ball in, and then what a finish from Negley. And I'm going to say it now, man of the match. And obviously set up Coburn's in the end, but he was absolutely brilliant again, that fella. He's really improved, hasn't he, after that sort of stuttering start to his Millwall career, and he realises what he needs to do to play for this club. Absolutely brilliant. Looked fantastic on the ball, slowed things down. The guy is just an absolute genius. He's really come on, and like I say, I keep saying Coburn's a big player for us, but that guy, his performance tonight was absolutely exceptional. Obviously, the second goal, I'm trying to think. Well, it's just, being in this situation now, it just feels so weird, doesn't it? But, we look comfortable, and then obviously we get the second goal. Keeper done well, didn't he? Just a bit more swerve on it. I don't know. He absolutely lost it, didn't he? Completely lost the flight of the ball, and we don't give a shit, do we? Flew in. So another goal for Femi to pick up his award this week with Crammer. We were flying, and obviously they got that deflected goal off poor Taylor. It was a bit like, here comes the Alamo, but we didn't panic, did we? We looked comfortable, we looked assured, and then Patterson made some, good saves, but a guy of that quality should be making those saves in my eyes. But I thought he was brilliant, but not really getting tested. And then obviously we get the third where Negley again, centre half played a lovely little pass into him. What was he doing? I have no idea. And he just slipped in Coburn. And obviously Coburn missed that chance, and we're all, he's going to miss that chance. He's a young lad, but it was frustrating. And oh God, he's gone back to his, missing easy chances. But he doesn't shy away, does he? And he put that chance away. Maybe a bit fortunate, but who cares? He's on the score sheet, and But I think the hold-up play, in the second half, I don't know if you've seen it, but where we we're under a little bit of pressure, but then Coburn just turns that sort of the fella and just gets the free kick in those areas where he just slows the game down. And we're learning game management now as well, and obviously we can bring on the subs. But let's talk about the team. Kramer, fantastic again. He looks like he's had a rest, and he's even at 95, 92 minutes, he's bombing up the field to set up. Ivanovic had that chance, pushed him a little bit too wide, but he's still bombing on, and that guy's engine is just phenomenal, isn't it? Cooper, fantastic. Sent that fellow into a couple of players, sent them across the grass, and they couldn't get up again. But that's what Cooper does, hit them hard. And Taylor was fantastic. Sturge, another really strong performance. And and the forgotten man Ballow's come into this team, and there's a decision to be made, because I thought he was excellent again tonight. And then centre half, Sacco, Del Boy, another really short. You can watch, and obviously Casper getting nearly 90 minutes was very important for us. But Sacco, towards the end, he was just sitting in front of that back four, protecting it, getting the ball nice and deep, and just, pressing, putting the balls in the right areas, and just keeping the ball and taking the sting out of Stoke. And Casper had a very good game. He's looking back to his best. And then obviously Coburn on the top, on his own up top, was just brilliant. So, but yeah, and the subs come on, did a job, didn't they? And, we had a couple of chances, didn't we? So, but I just think, Alex Neil is getting the best out of his team. And even the subs, when they come on, they know they've got a job to do, and they're celebrating. They're not, being miserable and, I'm a sub. They come on and they do a job. Even Danny Mack was hugging the manager, and he must be thinking, well, what am I going to do next year? But, the players, they'll look united, don't they? And the fans are united. And this is just what an amazing time to be a Millwall supporter. And we're so proud of the boys, and the fans up there, they were just singing all the time, weren't they? And just, what a support we've got up there, and it's fantastic. Long may it continue. Obviously, Southampton dropped points tonight. Leicester have gone down. I like them to stay up, so they're something to fight for. So hopefully we can go there and do a job on them. But to go to places like Stoke and look so comfortable, and it's amazing, isn't it? It's just so good. A full week back at work, and it's like I'll be flying on Mary Poppins when on the train tomorrow, walking into the city. I can't wait, and just. I've got a Spurs supporter there, which I'm going to absolutely give it to. And I've got a Southampton fellow in front of me as well. So I'm going to walk in there with the old big shoulders and give it to them tomorrow, because I am proud of them boys. And it's just an amazing time to be a Millwall supporter. And my God, long may it continue. We're absolutely flying. Come on, you Lions.
Hello, Nick. Mark Willoughby. I didn't actually go last night, but I couldn't not ring in after such a magnificent win. Well done to the 1,300 that did go. It was a difficult logistical ask with work the next morning, etc. So I settled for the TV and some dodgy old commentary. But fantastic performance by Millwall. Stoke weren't really at it, especially in the first half. But we took full advantage, and I thought there were some very pleasing performances, especially from Kramer, who more deservedly would have been a more deserved recipient of the man of the match last night than he would have been on Saturday. Some really great foraging runs right to the end of the game. And the whole team was attacking right to the end, which was interesting on the commentary when they were talking about Millwall making subs, and they were saying, what will Alex Neil opt to do here? Will he try and shut up shop or just keep going? And, well, anyone who knows us knows what the answer to that is. We kept going right to the end. Fantastic energy. Another couple of shout-outs. Casper in midfield, just love Casper being on the ball and not being shaken, doing his thing and commanding that area. Fantastic. And he came off quite near the end, but basically he's back up to full fitness now, which is brilliant. A couple of smart saves from Patterson as well. A very pleasing performance all round. Most of the time we took our chances. Don't like criticising him, but another chance that should have been on target from Coburn. I just hope that it doesn't come back to bite us in the arse. Some of these misses that shouldn't be misses from him, but he's chipped in with another goal, and I think I think he's on double figures now, which will make him our first player to achieve that, I think. So well done for him, to him for that. Couple of days until the next huge game away to Leicester. I mean, on paper, as usual, it looks fantastically well set up for us. They have also, or would have also, played 3 games in 6 days, so we're both on the same, same disadvantage there in terms of tiredness. And of course, they're already down. So let's just hope they're not up for it and we can brush them aside. And then we'll see what happens elsewhere. I'm kind of, obviously we're looking at the top 2 and hoping that Ipswich will fall over, and they've still got some tough games. But if we just keep playing like we have done in the last 2 games, where we've played well, and this is what we haven't really been doing up until those last 2 games. We've been grinding out results, but we've played well for pretty much 90 minutes in those last 2 games. So I can just keep doing that, go into the playoffs with momentum, and hopefully, I'm hoping there won't be some horrible sort of tragic, epic fail at the last minute to secure the 2nd point. We'll either nail it or we'll never really have had it in our grasp. Ipswich will just do what they need to do or whatever. And then we go into the playoffs with no regrets, with momentum, and just give it everything there. So the future is bright, and it's good to be a Lion. Thanks for all you do, Nick. Hope everyone's well. Come on, you Lions.
It's amazing that we were able to go again to back up Saturday's result and win the game. And starting with an unchanged side. In fact, the whole squad was unchanged, wasn't it? And just like against QPR, we took the game to the opposition, and Camel Negley's goal was class. Again, it was sublime. And this boy, who could play at a higher level, has a valuation now surely around the £10 million mark. Brilliant work from the recruitment team to find such a diamond in the rough, and he was easily our man of the match. But come on, that tackle by Coops late in the second half epitomised the team, epitomised the man. He was a rock again, and his leadership skills will surely earn him the player of the season. Stats now prove that we are the best side away from home in the entire league. And so many of these boys are playing their first full season in the Championship. More statistics, Nick. Can't help it, mate. I'm a historian. When Millwall won this league in 1987-88, we played 44 games in a 23-team division and finished with 82 points. This season, after 44 games, we are just 3 points short of that historic side. And with 79 points already, we have one more than the 1988 runners-up Aston Villa. All this achieved without a single player so far getting into double figures with their goals scored. A little bit like Gordon Jago's promotion side of 1975-76, wasn't it? So, a 3rd game in 6 days coming up now. Can we go again? But we have momentum now. Come on, you Wall! Who do you want to watch?